Has been postponed by 18 days because of dilemma related to the opposition party. Now, according to the Speaker of the lower house, the meeting had to be delayed considering the elections of the President and Vice President and several public holidays in the next 2 weeks. Good evening, I am Prarambha Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Province 1 gets its name after 6 years. To be known as Koshi, dilemma regarding jurisdiction between 3 tiers of government persists in absence of laws. Constitution experts divided on the share of terms of the Prime Minister. Confusion remains on the use of Article 76, Sub-Article 2 of the National Charter. China's annual parliament opens up on Sunday and will implement the biggest government reshuffle in a decade as President Xi Jinping tightens control while contending with a host of challenges. And Nepal under-19 cricket team to play the United Arab Emirates tomorrow. A win will secure Nepal's spot in the next year's Age Group World Cup. Senior team also take on the UAE in World Cricket League 2 series. Now, Koshi has been endorsed as the name of Province 1 from its Provincial Assembly. Now, 82 Provincial Assembly members had voted in favor of Koshi, while 4 had voted against it and 6 did not participate in the voting process. CPN Unified Socialist leader and former Chief Minister Rajendra Kumar Rai and Province Assembly member Kamal Prasad Gazebu had registered an amendment proposal. However, the amendment proposal tabled by Rajendra Kumar Rai was rejected with majority voice call at the Provincial Assembly meeting. A total of 15 Province Assembly members had participated in the discussion on Koshi as the name of the province. CPN-UML member Ram Bahadur Magar, who had proposed the name, had responded to the questions raised by other members of the Provincial Assembly. Now, debates on the constitutional arrangements have begun following the talks about consensus between Nepali Congress, CPN Noy Center and CPN Unified Socialists regarding the share of the Prime Minister's term. Leaders of these parties have said that Prime Minister and CPN Noy Center Chairperson Pushpa Kamal Dahal, Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Dewa and CPN Unified Socialist Chair Madhav Kumar Nepal have agreed to serve as the Prime Minister in turns after the formation of the new 8-party alliance for the presidential election. However, constitution experts are divided on legal arrangements regarding the scenario where Prime Minister Dahal serves for 2.5 years, followed by 1-year term of Nepal and ending the 5-year period with a 1.5-year term for Dewa. It is being said that Congress, Maoist Center and Unified Socialists had agreed on February 24 to share the position of Prime Minister in turns while forming the new political equation for the presidential election. As per the Article 76 of Article 2 of the Constitution, Dahal is the Prime Minister from the coalition. As this constitutional provision has already been used, some constitutional experts are divided on whether the same provision would be used for formation of the new government if Prime Minister Dahal resigns or the sub-Article 3 would be used. Some constitution experts are of the opinion that in case of resignation of Prime Minister Dahal, the President should appoint the parliamentary party leader of the largest party of the House of Representatives as provisioned by the sub-Article 3. Based on this opinion, Unified Socialist Chair Madhav Kumar Nepal will not become the Prime Minister after Dahal. However, other constitution experts have a contrasting opinion. They have said that the sub-Article 3 of Article 76 does not to be used as long as the government can be formed with sub-Article 2. Now, despite being an agricultural country with more than 60% of its population involved in the agro sector, Nepal does not have agricultural laws. Laws have also not been formulated for education, health, communications, tourism and disaster management alongside agriculture that have the shared rights of the federal, provincial and local governments. Now, despite constitutional recognition of shared rights, absence of laws have created dilemma in jurisdictions while service delivery has been severely affected. The acts related to civil service and police introduced by the Madhya province in the first term of its provincial assembly was not implemented as it was disputed. A few provinces and local levels formulated acts required for them. However, in absence of federal laws, they were not implemented as well. With no laws formed by the federal government, provinces could not recruit civil servants and police personnel. Provinces and local levels have also been denied their rights as acts related to land management and industries have not been formed. The Constitution has listed 25 topics, including supply of goods and services, distribution, price control, quality and monitoring, poverty alleviation, and media in the shared list of provinces and the federal government. Meanwhile, 15 topics, including cooperatives, management of landless squatters, and driving license, are in the shared list of the federal, provincial, and local governments. However, there is no clarity about the jurisdictions of the three tiers in absence of laws. The 5-year term following the first election of all three tiers was considered as the period for implementation of federalism. But with the political parties busy in their power gambits, formulation of laws remained ignored, which has affected the operation of the government and service delivery. The act related to the federal, provincial, and local level coordination and interrelation has opened doors for their operation by formulation of laws on the foundation of cooperation and collaboration between the three tiers. However, the provincial and local levels have not prioritized formulation of the required laws. Now, following the withdrawal of support extended to the government by CPN-UML, dilemma has surfaced between Nepali Congress and CPN-UML regarding which party holds the status of opposition at the House of Representatives. Now, with no clarity on the opposition, the meeting of the House of Representatives has been postponed until the 19th of March. Meeting of the House of Representatives has been postponed for 18 days as both Nepali Congress and CPN-UML are willing to remain in the opposition at the moment. Prior to this, a meeting of the House was called for 1 p.m. earlier this afternoon. Nepali Congress has said that it is the opposition and will perform the role of the opposition until joining the government. Meanwhile, CPN-UML, which had quit the government 3 days ago and withdrawn its support, has stated that it is the opposition in the parliament. Now, this dilemma led to the parliament being postponed. Speaker Devraj Ghimire is facing complications as both Nepali Congress and CPN-UML have claimed the status of the opposition. He has said that the meeting had to be postponed because of the elections of the president and vice president and several public holidays in the coming 2 weeks. The parliament meeting has also been affected as the Council of Ministers will not gain a full shape before the presidential and vice presidential election conclude, while there are no agendas at the House. It is now time for our segment Public Polls, where you text us with your opinion.
Public poll.
Before we ask today's question, let us take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we had asked, what should be done to raise productivity of local crops? 18% were for A, raise grants for farmers, 33% were for B, provide seeds, and 49% were for C, make policies to promote local crops. And here is our today's question. Why has the meeting of the House of Representatives been postponed for a long period of time? Your options are A, because of presidential election, B, lack of clarity regarding opposition, and C, no business from the government. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It is now time for a short break, but for more news, to stay with us. In our Public Voice segment, we've asked in several provinces regarding ways to make public places and public service offices disabled friendly. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice brought to you by NIC Asia Bank Limited. Bank pani, साथी pani, राम्रो pani, हाम्रो pani.
इन्ट्रान्स गेट देखि चाहिँ अपाङ्गता मैत्रीलाई बनाउनु पर्छ।
कार्यालयबाट प्रवाह हुने सूचनाहरू सबै चाहिँ त्यो अडियो भिडियो मार्फत चाहिँ त्यहाँ त्यो बोर्ड राखेर त्यो सञ्चालन गर्नु पर्यो।
व्हीलचेयरहरू हिँड्ने बाटोहरू अलि सजिलो बनाउनु पर्यो।
कुन लिपिहरू छन् अपाङ्गहरूको लागि तिनीहरू त्यो सामग्रीहरूको व्यवस्था गर्नुपर्छ।
ग्रास लेभलमा गएर चाहिँ सुधारहरू गर्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ मात्रै अपाङ्गहरूको चाहिँ लिन सक्ने सेवा सुविधामा सुधार हुनेछ।
सबैभन्दा बढी सेवा प्रवाह हुने कार्यालय र क्षेत्रलाई सबैको पहुँच पुग्ने गरी बनाउनु पर्छ।
के कस्ता नीतिहरू बनाउँदा अब ठिक हुन्छ भनेर अब विज्ञ व्यक्तिहरूको सल्लाह लिएर चाहिँ उहाँहरूसँग समन्वय गरेर चाहिँ
संरचनाहरू ती सबै अपाङ्गता मैत्री बनाउने भन्ने त्यसमा नीतिमा उल्लेख छ। त्यसलाई एउटा कडाइका साथ कार्यान्वयन गर्नुपर्छ।
अपाङ्गहरूको छुट्टै व्यवस्थापन हुनु पर्यो।
अपाङ्गहरूलाई अग्रतामा राखी सहज रूप वातावरणमा काम गरिदिनु पर्यो।
राज्यले लगानी गर्न पर्यो अपाङ्ग मैत्री पूर्वाधारहरूको लागि।
It is now time for the international news. China's annual parliament opens up on Sunday and will implement the biggest government reshuffle in a decade as Xi Jinping tightens control while contending with a host of challenges, from an uneven post-COVID economic recovery to cratering U.S. relations. The rubber stamp NPC will confirm Xi's new economic team after China's most powerful leader since Mao Zedong cemented a norm-breaking third term and stacked the top of the ruling Communist Party with allies during its twice-a-decade Congress in October. It will also discuss Xi's plans for an intensive and wide-ranging reorganization of state and Communist Party entities, state media reported on Tuesday after a three-day meeting of the party's Central Committee. The government is likely to set a 2023 economic growth target of between 5% and 6% to keep a lid on unemployment, policy sources, and analysts have said, with measures aimed at boosting consumption and foreign investment, among other efforts, but little expected in the way of landmark reforms. Loyalist Li Qiang, previously Shanghai party chief, is poised to become premier, charged with managing the world's second-largest economy, with investors cautiously hoping his ties with Xi will enable him to usher in more business-friendly policies after an increasingly statist turn. Well, more news coming up, but right now it is time for yet another short break. It is now time for the sports news.
Sports news.
Team Nepal play host the United Arab Emirates at the ICC Under-19 World Cup Asia qualifiers tomorrow. A win will secure Nepal's return to the Under-19 Age Group World Cup for the first time in 8 years. The match, which will be played at the Eden Garden Oval in Azman, will begin at 10:45 a.m. Nepal time tomorrow. Both Nepal and the UAE are unbeaten at the tournament and have 8 points from 4 matches. However, the UAE lead the standings on net run rate. Team Nepal had thrashed Malaysia by 10 wickets in their recent match and are just 1 win away from playing the World Cup after 8 years since 2016. Skipper Dev Khanal has said that tomorrow's match is the real test of Nepal. He added that all players would do their best to accomplish their dream of playing at the World Cup. He added that both teams were at the same level and the result would go in favor of the team that played better cricket. Team Nepal have exhibited brilliant all-round performance in the 4 previous matches. A win will mean Nepal will qualify for the Under-19 Cricket World Cup, which will be held in Sri Lanka next year. The men's national cricket team will also play the United Arab Emirates in the ICC World Cricket League 2 tomorrow. Now, following the decision of the Supreme Court to allow Sandeep Lamithane to leave the country, the cricketer who is alleged of raping a minor has left for the United Arab Emirates today. Team Nepal have won all of their 5 recent matches under the League 2 tournament. Nepal has secured a 4-wicket win against Papua New Guinea in the first match of the UAE leg of the tournament. The win also marked Nepal's record 5th successive one-day international victory. Meanwhile, the UAE had suffered a 131-run defeat to PNG. While Nepal are aiming to give continuity to their impressive performances, the UAE will be aspiring to make a comeback. A win is crucial for both teams to retain their ODI status, while a victory tomorrow will lift Nepal to the 5th position in the points table. Nepal are currently placed 6th with 28 points from 29 matches, while the UAE are 5th with 29 points from 29 matches. Including the clash tomorrow, 7 matches remain for Nepal. 6 wins from the 7 matches will secure Nepal's place in the top 3 and a spot in the World Cup global qualifiers, while 4 wins will secure the top 5 finish. The Cricket Association of Nepal has sent Sandeep Lamithane, who is alleged of raping a minor, to the United Arab Emirates for the ICC World Cricket League 2 series. Lamithane will replace Mausam Dhakal in the squad, who was injured during net sessions. The Supreme Court on Monday had allowed rape-alleged Lamithane to leave the country. According to CAN manager Binod Das, the technical committee of the International Cricket Council had asked for the doctor's report. Lamithane left after all technical procedures were completed. Before the verdict of the Supreme Court, CAN had sent the name of 16 players to the ICC for the UAE leg of the tournament. Based on the decision of the Supreme Court, Lamithane is required to return Nepal within 15 days of completion of matches abroad and also inform the court. Team Nepal are set to play the United Arab Emirates in the triangular series tomorrow. Meanwhile, Lamithane and wicketkeeper Arjun Saud have been included in the draft for the 100, a franchise tournament of the England and Wales Cricket Board. Despite being selected before, Lamithane could not play in the tournament because of visa-related issues. Meanwhile, Arjun has been included in the draft for the first time. A total of 368 players are included in the draft, which will be held on March 23. Now, Italian Vincenzo Alberto Anes has been appointed as the head coach of Nepal national men's football team. The 4th Executive Committee meeting of ANFA held today appointed Anesi to the post. ANFA had invited application for the head coach position and received a total of 168 applications. The recruitment committee had shortlisted 20 applicants. Italian Anisi holds the UEFA Pro license certificate and was the head coach of the Northeast United in the Indian Super League. He also guided Gokulam Kerala FC to 2 league titles. The 38-year-old was also the head coach of Belize national football team for a year in 2019. Anis is fluent in Italian, English, Spanish, Russian, and Indonesian. Majority of the executive committee members boycotted the meeting of the All Nepal Football Association ANFA executive committee meeting this morning. Now, members boycotting the meeting included 3 vice presidents, Dirga Bahadur Kesi, Virat Jangshai, Deepak Khadeora, and members Rupesh Adhikari and Ravindra Chand, among others. They have said that the meeting boycotted by a majority members was not valid. The meeting called for 8 a.m. at the ANFA complex in Saddabato was delayed by almost 2 hours because of dispute. The disgruntled faction has said that their agenda was not included in the meeting. They had said that Kiran Rai and Ravindra Joshi were appointed as the General Secretary and Treasurer against the statute and had demanded including the scrapping of their appointment in the agenda. However, ANFA President Pankaj Nembang did not include the demand in the agenda for the meeting. The disgruntled group has also alleged President Nembang of taking all decisions on his own without holding required consultations. They had demanded holding discussions by excluding General Secretary Rai and Treasurer Joshi, but President Nembang had ignored the call. Up next is the weather update. That is all for the moment. Up next is the news in Nepali. Thank you for staying with us. Goodbye for now.